It doesn't mean a thing if you don't win the ring. The Arizona Rattlers earn the right to wear theirs, and they do so proudly. Now they'd like to add another. Has it been that long? Could 8 months have flown by since Arizona and Iowa met in Arena Bowl 11?
1997, the year of the Rattler.
It was a day to remember when one of the league's best Ironman grabbed the spotlight. The Arena Football League's top quarterback was outdueled by a young backup signal caller. Today, the Iowa Barnstormers begin a new season. A team with a new quarterback, new faces, but an old score to settle. Welcome to Veterans Memorial Auditorium in Des Moines, Iowa, home turf for this city's Arena Football League franchise, the Iowa Barnstormers, and the old barn should be rocking as the Arizona Rattlers are in town in a rematch of last August's championship game. And a man to watch for Arizona, number 17, Randy Gatewood, was a force on both sides of the football and should be again today. Hi, everyone. I'm Mike Adamley along with Mike Golick. Glad you could join us for another season of Arena Football here on ESPN2 and ESPN. The league now in its 12th year of existence, and the future, Mike, has never looked brighter. And certainly the Arizona Rattlers have reason to be excited. They returned virtually their entire championship team intact.
But there was a scare last year, and it happened in the semifinals against Tampa Bay. The premier quarterback in Arena Football, Cedric Bonner, goes down with a broken ankle. He was done for the playoff run. Did come back on crutches to cheer his team on to Arena Bowl 11 championship against Iowa. Questions about rehab, could he come back? Answered last week in this preseason game against New York. He is ready to go. His ankle is healthy, his arm is healthy, and Mike, that means trouble for his opponents.
Well, let's talk Iowa Barnstormers. Usually John Gregory coached teams. One of their trademarks, stability. But in 1998, Coach Gregory has a ton of question marks to answer.
And it all starts at quarterback. The only quarterback Iowa has ever known in their existence, Kurt Warner, on to fame in NFL Europe. He's replaced by Charles Polari, whose only stats come from the old Texas Terror and the Miami Hooters. He's got a big quest today to bring this team back to where they were. But, Mike, I think they're going to search a bit early.
So we are about to begin our 1998 season, and to refresh your memory, this is a much different game than conventional football. The field just half as long, 50 yards long, the end zone's 8 yards deep, and most important, the goalpost only 9 feet wide, kicking paramount in this game.
The kicking, they can only use the 1-inch tee, goes from the goal line. There will be no punting. Everything will be field goals or kickoff. The receiving team can get any kickoff miss or field goal miss rebounded off that net. That's where the fun is, Mike.
The Arizona Rattlers are kicking off. Their kicker, Mike Geary, knew from a year ago, back deep for Iowa, one of the fastest men in the league, number 9, Lamart Cooper. A legitimate 4.3 40 guy. And there's one way to ensure that there are no returns. Kick it right between the uprights and the soft part of the netting. So Iowa will begin play at their own 5-yard line.
25, first down,
Charles Polari, his first start at quarterback for the departed Kurt Warner. And had Mike Horacek made that catch, his first pass would have been a completion. Michael, you talked about his minimal experience, and most of it in the Arena Football League coming back in 1995. That low completion percentage must be improved if Iowa is to be a threat again this year.
Check Monday. Go!
Second down and 10. Cooper, the motion man.
This football recovered by Polari. It's back to the line of scrimmage. That'll set up a third down.
Polari has to recover the loose football as you take a look at Iowa and offense. And number 95 is an interesting character. Big Tony Ketchings out of Cincinnati. He is the de facto tight end in this formation. And boy, do they miss Chris Spencer. He missed the Arena Bowl a year ago, but he is back and gives them that big wide receiver that they need so desperately. 3rd down and 10 for Iowa. Horacek in motion. Polari with time. He's got Spencer just shy of the 1st down. Cedric Walker makes the tackle for Arizona. Defensively for Arizona, the man in the middle is a force. Darren Kenny, 6'5", 279. He'll also play center on offense. One of Arizona's Iron Men. And in the backfield, Hunky Cooper, number 14. He was the Iron Man of last year's Arena Bowl 11 game. What a player. And this year, totally healthy.
John Gregory making a good decision here. Iowa head coach, 4th and 1 for the young quarterback, Charles Polari. Don't put him in this situation deep in his own end zone or in their own territory. But now the pressure goes to a kicker that just signed with the team.
Back on Tuesday, Brian Hurley. It's a fake. Kenny Nord, the backup quarterback and holder, picks up the 1st down, but we've got a flag back at the Arizona goal line.
The play clock may have run out. After we get this call, we'll let you know about this kicker, and this is a story in itself.
3-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
It is delay of game. The kicker, Brian Hurley, just tried out. This week they had 6 kickers in just 2-3 days ago, and Brian Hurley was the best of the 6. He hasn't kicked a ball since his senior year at Iowa 2 years ago.
Yeah, his last game was the Sun Bowl in 1996 when he was named the game MVP as the Iowa Hawkeyes beat the Washington Huskies. This one spotted at the 3, so it's a 55-yard field goal attempt. It is long enough, and it is good. How about that for coming through in the clutch? Brian Hurley, a 55-yard field goal to get Iowa on the scoreboard. The Barnstormers take the early lead as Mr. Clutch, Brian Hurley, does the job. Back with more in a moment.
Don't you push that button. Don't even think about it. This is Arena Football.
A 50-yard indoor war. Balls going into the stand. Rebound nets. No punting. High score. With the fans so close, they can reach out and touch it.
You want more of this? Then keep your butt in that seat and stay tuned to ESPN or the Deuce.
Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, now through August. Watch Arena Football on ESPN or the Deuce.
Arena Football!
With AT&T One Rate, it costs $1.35 to make a 9-minute call from New York to L.A. With 10321, it's $2.51. Surprised? Most calls from home cost less with One Rate. So give us a call today.
I'm George Morisham, reminding you to give all you can and score one for the kids.
Even naked.
Not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers, because nothing handles your hunger better.
Don't look at me.
Hungry? Why wait?
Now you see me, now you don't. That's why you need Rain-X on your windshield. Rain-X is easy to use. It forms a super slick shield that repels water, sleet, and snow. You can clearly see the difference. And better visibility means better response time, up to a full second or more at highway speeds. That's almost 4 car lengths of extra stopping distance. So no matter what the weather, it's easy to see why you need Rain-X.
The Iowa Barnstormers have taken a 3-0 lead over Arizona, courtesy of that man, number 7, Brian Hurley. He ties a club record, a 55-yard field goal.
And I was watching him in warm-up. Great height on his kick. Look at how high the ball goes. Gives him that extra distance. Boy, I tell you what, that'll break the pressure. Your first kick, make a 55-yarder.
And remember, this is the last time that Brian kicked competitively 2 years ago. ago in a postseason bowl game when Iowa was playing the University of Washington.
Hey, Mike, how new is this guy? His name is not even on the back of his jersey yet. Everybody else has got their name. Brian Hurley does not have the name on the back of his jersey yet.
Originally, Ian Houfield was supposed to be the kicker. They acquired him from Anaheim in the dispersal draft. Ian had to have back surgery as of Tuesday. Iowa had no kicker until Brian Hurley showed up at practice for a tryout. Boy, does he get great height on those kicks. Hunky Cooper fields it off the net. He's got running room. He could go the distance. Let's see if Hurley can tackle. Oh, he gets trucked. Unbelievable. Hunky Cooper has done this time and time again.
Arena Bowl revisited. Wow, Hunky Cooper not touched until the kicker. And I tell you what, kudos to Brian Hurley for trying to step in front of him. Hunky Cooper just ran him over.
Well, the thing about Hunky Cooper, he did this, as you mentioned, Mike, in last year's Arena Bowl. Great concentration, watching the ball bounce off the upright, the crossbar, I should say, and then he trucks Brian Hurley, who's not a small kicker. He's 6'4", 210.
And Hunky Cooper didn't even try and make a move on him. Said, all right, young gun, you just hit a big one. Let's see if you can tackle. And that's
Michael Geary on to attempt the extra point for Arizona. It is up, it is good, and just like that, the Arizona Rattlers, defending Arena Bowl champions, take the lead over Iowa 7-3. Hunky Cooper, an Iron Man a year ago in that game. He wants to be the league MVP this year. I'd say he's off to a good start.
News breaks. Markets move. See it on CNBC.
The company plans to withdraw the weight loss medication Redux.
Deals develop. Stocks shift. See it on CNBC.
The $30 billion bid for MCI.
As the world's leader in business news, CNBC has the contacts, the expertise, and the power to make sure you hear it first and hear it fast while you still have time to make your move. CNBC. We make your business our business.
Join Cable for DNN's Tuesday Evenings of Country. See the Oak Ridge Boys, the first television primetime variety show ever from Las Vegas, starring today's top entertainers, singers, actors, and more. Then catch your favorite country music legends jamming and conversing with host George Jones on the new George Jones Show. Tune into Cable for DNN's 2 for Tuesday back-to-back country music evenings on Time Warner Cable.
Today's Arena football game is brought to you by Tenactin, the official foot care product and antifungal of the Arena Football League. And if you're a true Iron Man in this game, like Hunky Cooper is, there is no time to celebrate. I've got a cover on special teams, baby.
Just a couple of high fives, and let's run down and try and knock somebody down.
Let's watch number 14 as he covers his kick from Michael Geary. Rattlers have taken a 7-3 lead, a nice high kick. Lamar Cooper's field, and he'll take it up the middle. He's got some running room before Bobby McMillan, number 44, tries to strip him of the ball. He takes it out past the 16-yard line, and that's where the Barnstormers will begin their second possession.
Hunky Cooper was the man in Arena Bowl 11, and after that game he said, hey, I'm looking for league MVP next year, and what a way to start it off. He gets his 9th career return for a touchdown.
6-year pro from UNLV. Lamar Cooper gets the ball after going in motion, and he gets drilled by Cedric Walker. One thing about these Arizona Rattler defensive backs, they will put a hat on you. Once again, our quarterbacks are Mike. Let's listen in.
Go left, that's motion 70-81 on first down.
We didn't get a list of that time, but we'll be checking in on their play calling. I've got a nice cheat sheet up here for when they do.
Number 15, Mike Horacek, the motion man. Instead, Polari flips it out to Chris Strepfield, 6'4" wide receiver that missed last year's Arena Bowl for Iowa and is back in the lineup this year after recovering from a torn anterior cruciate ligament. First down, Iowa.
This is what Iowa needs to do, Mike. Short passes for Charles Polari. Let him get in a rhythm. Use these receivers, the squadron, the Chris Spencers, the Lamar Coopers. You know, these guys are going to have to step it up this year now that Kurt Warner's gone. The wide receivers are going to have to raise their level of play to help Charles Polari out.
The give is to Cooper, the motion man, and did not fool Arizona. Darren Kenny, number 58, hits Cooper in the Barnstormer backfield.
This is one thing Arizona, you know, they're arena champions, but Danny White, their head coach, always says we need to improve it with stopping the run and pass rush. We need to get in more gaps and get pressure a lot quicker. Darren Kenny providing the fireworks there.
Doug Kay, Arizona's defensive coordinator, calling out the signals.
Go!
Second down and 10, Iowa. Polari to throw. He's got Horacek. Throwing the middle. He's got the first down before Randy Gatewood drives him out of bounds.
Be interesting to see how Arizona plays this. They're going to want to try and confuse Polari. This one they just hung back in a deep zone and let the routes develop in front of him. Polari, a nice throw, and this is what he needs, a few completions to get his confidence in. But those defensive backs, as you said earlier, Mike, they are going to lay the wood to these receivers.
Intimidation, the name of Arizona's defensive game. Polari with time, has to scramble now. Oh, and a strong move by number 58, Darren Kenny again. That was a one-arm shoulder pad grab, taking Polari to the turf.
Again, last year on offense, Arizona gave up just 1 sack. Defense, they didn't get enough sacks. Doug Kay said, we've got to improve our pass rush in the offseason. Darren Kenny quickly rectifying that.
Go right, 80 over, on one, ready? Come on, Coop.
Doesn't look very happy after a sack, does he?
Have you ever met a defensive coordinator who wasn't? Second down, Walker draped all over Spencer. We got flags draped all over this Veterans Memorial Auditorium field.
Now, Cedric Walker did a nice job with his left arm, but his right arm was all over the back of Chris Spencer, and this is where Chris Spencer would have been so important for this Iowa team in last year's Arena Bowl.
A year ago, Walker could reach around the smallish Iowa wide receivers, not this year. Referee Wes Fritz making the call. Here's the look.
You'll see the right arm is the trouble. It comes, got the shoulder right there of Spencer and pulling it. His left arm was fine with the block, but it's that off arm that caused the damage.
Half the distance to the goal line. Polari trying to, I don't know if that was intentional, trying to throw the ball off the net. The nets keep the ball live in arena football.
Well, I think where he was going, Chris Spencer, he had the back of the end zone, again, 6'4". I think he was trying to throw it up high so he could jump for it. Yeah, but as you said, off that net, that is a live ball until it hits the ground.
Joe Birch coming into the game now for Arizona in place of Darren Kenny, who's been gangbusters so far here in the first quarter.
Go!
Second and goal for Iowa. Trailing 7-3. On their home turf, Polari. Spencer underneath, can't hang on.
Arizona now doing a nice job of just dropping back to closer, just like the red zone in the outdoor game. Close to the red zone here inside the 10-yard line. The guys are just going to drop off and let Polari find something right now at a 50% clip. Not a lot of yards just yet, but he's going against a great defensive backfield with the Rattlers.
Go right, 80 goal line, first down, ready? How's the backside, Coop?
Touchdown, Iowa. Mike Horacek in the front corner of the end zone on a perfectly thrown ball by Polari, who is slow to get up and limping towards the sideline.
Yeah, Polari took a shot from Tony Henderson. It's a good thing that was a timing route. This is just an out route to the corner of the end zone. The top of your screen, you'll see Polari get hit right as he throws it. A nice throw, down and away. This is a veteran throw here for Polari. Down and away, can't get intercepted, either incomplete or a touchdown.
The scary thing there is Henderson hit Polari. It reminded me very much of what happened to Cedric Bonner in that Tampa Bay game, playoff game of a year ago. Ryan Hurley with the 55-yarder earlier, connects on the extra point. It's 10-7 Iowa.
A tough case of athlete's foot can stop you in your tracks. You get that itching, the cracking, the burning. That's when you want a medicine and back stuff. Boom! Tough Actin Tenactin. It cures even tough cases of athlete's foot. Get Tough Actin Tenactin.
This summer, if you're looking for danger, excitement, and adventure, X marks the spot. The X Games, a Chevy S10 production.
Meet Sean Graham, veteran stuntman. This is how he lives. This is what he drives. What else would he drive? Chevy S10, like a rock.
Back here in Des Moines, the hometown Barnstormers with a 10-7 lead over defending arena champion, the Arizona Rattlers, whose quarterback, Cedric Bonner, back in the lineup, and no trepidations about that injured ankle of a year ago.
You know, the human in me is always going to have that in the back of my mind early on, which it did in preseason, and you know, it's just a matter of getting in there, feeling the bodies fly around, and just getting comfortable doing what you do. You know, if something's going to happen, it's going to happen. I've been through all the rehab that needed to be done, so it's ready to go.
The big thing about him was the fibula was a clean break, so that wasn't a problem. It was the damaged ligaments in the ankle that really caused some concern, but Cedric was very diligent about his rehabilitation, and he is back 100%. Brian Hurley to kick off. So far, he has accounted for 4 of the Iowa 10 points. And another high kick that Cooper fields perfectly, and he's loose again. Could it be 2 in a row? This time, Hurley makes the tackle. You may truck me once, but you're not going to run me over a second time.
And it looked like Hunky Cooper was hunting him down again.
Oh, yeah.
He veered back into him, said, I'm going to try and run you over again. Brian Hurley said, not this time. Boy, Hunky Cooper, what can you say about this guy? Again, great blocking. He doesn't do it alone, getting some good blocks. Finds the open field. Look at him veer right back to the kicker here. Right into him. Said, I'm going to do it again.
Remember, a year ago, he played with practically half a foot. He nearly severed his big toe in a lawn mowing accident. This year, he says he's 100%, and his whole mission is to win another Arena Bowl title and for him to be the league MVP. Bonner, the pitch to Bo Kelly inside the 5 before he's finally brought down. Flag on the play. A year ago, a sensational season, and the thing that really stood out was his completion percentage, Mike.
Absolutely fantastic, and what's not even listed there, he was not sacked at all. The team gave up 1, that was to back up Donnie Davis. This guy gets great blocking, but he knows how to get rid of the ball. I think, without a doubt, the best quarterback in the league. Getting offsides. We're getting offsides against Iowa, and then for Arizona, Mark Tucker. It's a personal foul. I think, Mike, they did a high-low block. One lineman went up high, the other went down low and cut, and that's the penalty that's going to be assessed, not the offsides against Iowa.
Offensively for Arizona, Mark Tucker in his second year from Southern California. He is the Rattlers' biggest offensive lineman, and we have not heard from this man yet, but we will. Trust me. Number 8, Calvin Schexnader. 29 touchdowns was an Arizona record a year ago, as was the over 1,500 yards receiving. So first in, 18 for the Rattlers now. Bonner hangs in the pocket. He's got Schexnader. What did I tell you? Touchdown. Just like that.
And that is about as fast as it can go in this league. Again, questions about Cedric Bonner. He did play some in the preseason games to check that ankle out. But boy, I tell you, guys like Calvin Schexnader, Shakes as they call him, are really happy that he is back. Again, the poise in the pocket, you see he's starting to get a little pressure at the end. Great job of leading his receiver, and Schexnader does the rest, takes it in the end zone.
So Michael Geary on to attempt the extra point, hoping to increase Arizona's lead to 4. It is up and it is wide to the left, and in this game where kicking is so important, every extra point and field goal critical. Will this one be? We'll find out. You are watching ESPN2's coverage of Arena Football.
You know all those stories you hear about how good it was and how much fun we had and how young we all used to be, about how much it all mattered and how much we all cared and how no one has ever done it higher or faster or harder or better. All those stories you hear, they're all true.
Well, in athletics, you're lucky if you get a second chance in anything, I guess, in life. And Michael Geary will get just that. An illegal rush by Iowa has given Arizona an opportunity to re-kick the extra point.
One of the rules here, the defense cannot rush outside the outside lineman of the offense, and that's where the rush came from, and that is illegal. Got to come from the middle.
Bonner with the hold, Geary with the kick. This time it's good. Arizona leads by 4. Well, tonight at 11 o'clock Eastern on the Deuce, get ready to buckle up. Incredible speed and horsepower on display in the 1998 Castrol Lone Star Nationals. Top Fuel, Funny Car, Pro Stock titles, all on the line. Be there tonight on the Deuce.
I did that one time, Mike. I did that drag race and once got to about 80 miles an hour and said, all right, I'm done.
Scared the you-know-what out of you, right? Calvin Schexnayder, a year ago, unbelievable, and keeps getting better with age. 94, 13 touchdowns in 1997, 29.
That came on 93 receptions. You see the yardage and touchdowns, all team records last year for Calvin Schexnayder for the Arizona Rattlers.
Came from a pretty good program that knows something about throwing the football. Washington State under Mike Price. He's a fifth-year veteran now, is Schexnayder. As we look at Michael Geary, he is a new kicker this year, replacing Anthony Brennan. You're a championship club. You can't sit still. You're always trying to upgrade your program.
And now with the Rattlers, we talked to Danny White yesterday. You know, they've got the target squarely on their back. Everybody's going to play championship football against this team.
He said we basically have met the enemy, and he is us.
Yep.
Gary's kick, a little errant and out of bounds. It ticked off one of the officials' head.
Ball into the stands. That's a souvenir. And this is just like the outdoor game when the kickoff goes out of bounds. That is a penalty. This is a tough one too, Mike. The ball comes out to the 20-yard line.
That's where Iowa will put the ball in play. As you look at some of the new changes this year, a new franchise up in Grand Rapids. Anaheim has suspended operations, and the Texas Terror, now the Houston Thunder Bears. Charles Polari has his pass batted down by Tony Henderson, number 96. And quite a few new coaches in the league. Mike Trigg used to coach for Milwaukee. His defensive coordinator, Rick Frazier, took over. Steve Thon now in Houston, a former player. Rick Buffington for the Florida Bobcats. Chuck Shelton in New York. And Jay Gruden, remember that name.
Well, I tell you, he was the leader in many categories in arena football as a quarterback. Now, as most quarterbacks, move on to coaching.
And his brother, of course, the new coach of the Oakland Raiders. Polari doesn't snap the ball. Conley offsides.
Well, the center, John Dixon, either had the count and kept it to himself, or everybody else was off.
John Gregory, as you look at the total number of plays so far run by both clubs, Gregory has to be happy by what his offense is doing so far, even though they trail on the scoreboard by 4. Cooper, the motion man. Polari's got time underneath the This is a new Barnstormer who has got tremendous speed. A rookie from Wayne State, Nebraska. He was in the Chicago Bear training camp a year ago. Made it to one of the very last cuts. They love him.
They love this guy. Exactly right. The last cut of the Bears, just a nice crossing route. right underneath the safety, Herb Duncan, and he does the rest, showing some speed there also. They love this kid. They said, watch out for him. And Iowa's always been a hotbed. 4 wide receivers. They did lose Willis Jaycox, one of the great receivers, to retirement, and they're hoping Swain right there, Kevin Swain, can fill the bill.
The pitch to Cooper, a new wrinkle in the Iowa offense. Nothing doing as he's buried by a pair of Rattler tacklers, Tony Henderson being the first to reach him, as was Marvin Bagley. We'll mention his name quite a few times tonight and talk a little bit more about Bagley as well. Two minutes remaining here in the first quarter, and already Charles Polari has taken a pounding.
Go in motion.
But he is building his confidence. He's hit some nice passes over the middle. They're starting to go deeper down the field.
Again, running it to the short side of the field doesn't give him much opportunity or room to run. He was tackled by nose guard Joe Birch.
This defensive line for Arizona, a place they did want to improve, is really coming today on the run and the pass. Even though Polari's getting his passes off, he is getting pressure in his face. Again, even if you're a championship team, you always have to, somewhere you have to improve, and D-line was one of the places Arizona wanted to get a little better, and they seem to have accomplished that.
And despite weighing 296 pounds, Birch can move those feet. Polari, straight drop back. Oh, Cooper wide open, he can't hang on. Lamar Cooper, coming from the other side of the field, had beaten Herb Duncan, number 81, wide open, couldn't hang on.
Well, this is a nice play. He goes in motion. You'll see him cut across your screen. It's a delayed route way back to the other side, and he is wide open. Herb Duncan loses him, and that is just one that Cooper will remember. As he sees it, goes into the stands for a souvenir. He said that should have been 6 points.
20-yard field goal attempt now by Brian Hurley, and so far he has to be Iowa's MVP. Spoke too soon there. His shot was wide left.
No good. That'll be a touchback for Arizona. First and 10 for them from their 5-yard line.
Mike Adamley and Mike Golick along with you here in Des Moines, Iowa, Veterans Memorial Auditorium, the place known as the Barn. The Iowa Barnstormers trailing defending league champion Arizona 14-10.
Again, Arizona at 14 points. They've only had one offensive play at this point.
Well, power hitting could be the theme when the Chicago White Sox and Anaheim Angels collide on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. The Sox, Frank Thomas and Albert Bell, and the Halos, Cecil Fielder, will be looking to groove a couple deep tonight in Anaheim. Game time at 8 p.m. Eastern. Danny White, the only head coach the Arizona Rattlers have ever had, along with his star pupil, Cedric Bonner.
And I'm sure his heart took a jump last year when the ankle got broken, but a happy man now.
The Rattlers lead the Barnstormers by 4.
When sports cream, when legs are sore, when backs ache, when muscles hurt. Wise Sports Cream, rubbing it in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell. Wise Sports Cream, because it works.
I'm George Morrison, reminding you to give all you can and score one for the kids.
Even naked.
Not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers, because nothing handles your hunger better.
Don't look at me.
Hungry? Why wait?
Please rise for our anthem. Gorditas, gorditas, taco souls are we, whose lives are pledged to warm flat bread. Your salsas make us free. Gorditas.
Bless you, Taco Bell.
Let's go eat one now.
What's the matter, clown boy? You need to make a call, but you don't have the change. Cheer up, Spunky, there's a way. Just use 1-800-COLLECT. It's 10 cents a minute every evening. Saves a bundle of cash, you can talk longer, too. Go ahead, make some calls. That's great. Mimes. 1-800-COLLECT. 10 cents a minute every evening.
Through Mother's Day, Zales, the diamond store, has 40% and more off every S bracelet with bonus dollar savings of up to $200 on every size. Like this 2-carat, now just $349, our lowest price at Zales.
When sports cream? When legs are sore. When backs ache. When muscles hurt. Why sports cream? Rubbing it in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell. Why sports cream? Because it works.
One of the reasons the Arizona Rattlers leading Iowa by 4, the presence of number 14, Hunky Cooper. This was his performance a year ago in the Arena Bowl. 3 different times he scored touchdowns 3 different ways. First by kick return like he did here earlier tonight, or interception return. Then by kick return, he also had a touchdown reception against the Barnstormers last August. Some kind of football player.
And again, after that Arena Bowl, he said, I want this team to repeat. That's the most important goal is this team. And also said, hey, I'd love to be MVP of this league to roll along with it. He's got a great start today.
Right now, he is Cedric Bonner's motion man. And Bonner looking for Marlon Wayne, scouting. Gain of about 7 before Mike Karachek knocks him into the wall. First quarter, we mentioned the total plays. That's because of Hunky Cooper's kickoff return heroics. So far, I think John Cooper has to be, or John Gregory has to be happy with Charles Polari as quarterback.
I think happy with Polari and happy with Hurley as kicker. They were really betwixt and between a few days ago with no kicker, and they got a guy who's producing for them right off the bat.
Yeah, you don't call yet. He declared. But you, hold on, I was about to call a timeout. You're supposed to let the timeout.
Throwing a flag down. I don't.
You're supposed to let
the referee is saying that no one declared. Now the lineman, the tackle and the tight end, one has to walk to the line and raise his hand. He is declaring himself.
You gotta
as
let the
tight
play
end.
run out.
If that does not happen, that is a penalty.
You gotta let the clock run out.
This place would be either Rusty James, number 60, or number 10, Flip Fleming. Neither man did that.
And it has to happen every play because on defense, the linebackers have to adjust their selves according to where the offensive tight end is.
We have no flag on the play. We have no tight end declaring, but that is a dead ball foul. The snap has to go off, so there's no flag. We continue.
What he's saying is they would have had to start the play. The referee called the penalty a little early after the play would have started. Then it would have been a penalty.
So we'll do second down all over again. Second and 3 to be exact for Arizona. This time Schecht's the motion man. And Kent Wells, was it encroachment or offsides?
Kent Wells is a pickup head coach John Gregory loved in the offseason.
Encroachment, 73 defense, 3-yard penalty.
Except when they do that. Big 300-pounder right over the center. They say you should never make this mistake. I can't say anything because I did it a few times in my career.
Yeah, when you're looking directly at the football.
People just understand how you can do it, but you get a little anxious, and what he does is he listens to the quarterback, and he's going on the quarterback's pace instead of the snap of the ball.
Automatic first down for the Rattlers as the result of that infraction. Schecht's in motion again for Arizona. Bonner, 3-step drop. He's got Schecht's across the 25, which is midfield in the Arena League, into Iowa territory.
And what makes Arizona so dangerous is they can hit these receivers with short passes and let them do the work, but their quarterback, arguably the best quarterback in the league, can also throw deep. So as a defensive team, what do? Do you play up on the receivers and then let the quarterback burn you deep, or vice versa?
And as you look at Schecht's numbers, Arizona probably has the best trio of receivers in the league. If you concentrate on number 8, Hunky Cooper's going to beat you, and so is number 17, Randy Gatewood. And we still haven't heard from him yet. And now we will. As he catches the 7-yarder from Bonner. Set Carlos James knocking him out of bounds.
And here again is this Rattler offense in motion. Not a lot of time wasted. Cedric Bonner gets in the pocket and he releases the ball. That's why he was not sacked at all last year. Again, credit to the offensive line. Cedric Bonner's got a quick release. He's one of the smartest quarterbacks in this league, without a doubt. And he knows where his guys are going and when and where to get rid of the ball.
before. He hasn't missed a beat despite that injury in the playoff game against Tampa Bay. He looks very sharp. He's now 5 for 5. Touchdown to Calvin Schexnayder.
Well, they're making it look pretty easy right now whenever the offense does have the ball. See a crossing pattern, an out pattern to the corner of the end zone, wide open. Shea Showers, new to the Arena League, playing way too far off Calvin Schexnayder, and then he gets a penalty after the touchdown.
If you're going to get beat in this league, you might as well get beat by not giving them cushion. Play them tough, play aggressive.
Smart move, too, by Arizona. Go after the rookie Shea Showers and see how he's going to play it.
Michael Geary, a left footer, and that one he hooks into the upright. No good. Maybe that will be a factor later on. But Cedric Bonner on fire. This touchdown pass to Calvin Schexnayder. Arizona up by 10.
Attention passengers. Our bingo tournament is starting in 5 minutes on the captain's deck. Also on deck, today's craft is pipe cleaner also known.
So it's called the AT&T $2 million shootout, huh?
5 shots, $2 million.
$2 million.
It's the NBA Finals.
$2 million.
Could be me.
Just call 1-888-6-FINALS and you could win a trip to the NBA Finals and a shot at $2 million or thousands of other prizes. So call now.
Hey, Lenny, know what you could do with $2 million? You can move that basket higher and to the right.
Just call 1-888-6-FINALS now.
I've won my share of races, but I didn't do it alone. It takes a great team. And Slick 50 is a part of my team. I'm one of the millions of people who rely on it.
Now there's Slick 50 Synchron synthetic engine treatment with a 100,000-mile limited warranty and pour and drive convenience.
It's hard to beat Slick 50. I count on that.
Slick 50 Synchron synthetic, the next generation of engine treatments.
And for peak performance, use Slick 50 Synchron synthetic fuel system treatment.
Back here at Veterans Memorial Auditorium in Des Moines, Iowa. Arizona on top by 10 as you take a look at the most recent Rattlers scoring drive. 5 plays, 45 yards. Calvin Schexnayder on the receiving end of that 15-yard touchdown pass from Cedric Bonner.
Every pass by Cedric Bonner completion. You can't draw him up in the sand any better than that. This will have a domino effect now on Arizona's defense. Like their defensive backs are going to start to take a few chances and try to really send a message and hit some receivers now.
High kick. Drops into the soft part of the netting, and Lamartin Cooper cannot return it, so they'll bring it out.
And with the exciting returns in arena, that's exactly what you want your kickers to do. Hit the soft part of the net and have it fall behind that cross post so they can't return it.
The ball brought out to the 5-yard line after the touchback, and you can see exactly where Geary put that ball.
See, his foot's on the line. That's Wes Fritz. Referee steps in and says, sorry, Mr. Cooper, can't go anywhere.
Iowa desperately needs a score. And Chris Spencer gets hammered as he catches that tough pass across the middle. Gets hammered by the hunkster, Hunky Cooper.
This is exactly what Iowa wanted with Chris Spencer and his size. 6'4", 235-pounder. They really could have used that last year in the Arena Bowl as a defensive back for Arizona. We're really knocking the smaller receivers from Iowa around. Chris Spencer was sorely missed. He had a hurt knee in the beginning of preseason. He's just coming back about 90% now.
The motion man.
They lulled Arizona's the fake on the run, and they just plain forget about him. See, the DBs are just dropping back. They completely forget about Cooper until Cedric Walker has to come up and make the play, but not after a first down.
Walker had gone to double Chris Spencer. Cooper wide open. Looking for Tony Catchings. Darren Kenny snuffed that one out.
Larry did a nice job just throwing that one away. Darren Kenny all over Catchings. And Catching had 5 receptions last year and a touchdown. He's a very good tight end. Here you see the throw. Now he's throwing to Tony Catchings, the tight end. That was trying to get him on a screen, have all the receivers to one side of the field and come back and throw to the tight end. Darren Kenny for Arizona, not fooled.
But if you're a wide receiver for an opposing team against the Rattler defenders, there is a price to be paid. There is a war of attrition.
And you see Chris Spencer moving a little slow, but it took 4 Rattlers to bring him down that time. Again, coming off a knee injury is Chris Spencer, so condition-wise, he's probably not where he wants to be, but they are going to rely on him today.
Cedric Walker, Cecil Doggett, we have yet to see him, but he'll be in the lineup as well. They will rock your world. Walker with 108 tackles, an AFL record. Polari's going to buy some time with his feet and does find him on the sideline. Randy Gatewood didn't mean to clothesline him. Cooper just ducked, and he's 5'7", so that was inevitable. Flag on the play.
I think it's going to be a late hit on Bob McMillan for the Rattlers on Charles Polari, the quarterback, as they were getting good pressure.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 44 with a late hit. Half the distance to the 2.5, first down.
It's good coverage by Arizona. Polari did a good job of rolling out a la Kurt Warner. What he did a lot last year, buying time. He buys time for his receiver to come back. And you see McMillan with the shove into the wall of Polari. See the shove right there by McMillan. Sends Polari right into the wall, but it cost him.
Half the distance to the goal line. First and goal for Iowa. Polari again having to scramble for his life. And another flag down.
I think this one's going to be on Cecil Doggett for holding the defensive back for Arizona that we just talked about, as we do have a man down.
That's John Moten, the Iowa fullback.
Holding, number 6 on defense. Official timeout for injury.
So we just talked about Cecil Doggett, one of those guys that loves to do the hitting. He held up Mike Horacek a little much there, got his arms extended. The referee saw that through the flag. Well, you see Arizona really doing well offensively, defensively. Now they're giving up some yards. And what will Danny White probably pick out before penalties? For the coach to pick out something.
CP has done a nice job so far. Over 100 yards of passing offense for the Barnstormers. And the ball is loose. Cooper's on top of it.
It's recovered by Cooper back at the 11-yard line.
Mike, Charles Polari just saved his team right there. This was a fumble that Cedric Walker was going for, and Polari tackled Cedric Walker, and he couldn't get to the ball. Watch number 16, Charles Polari, sees the ball on the ground, goes for it. Now he grabs Walker and holds on to him so he can't go for the ball. That's a smart move by the quarterback. Get a good view from the back here. He's just trying to tackle him first. Then he sees he doesn't have the ball and holds on to his leg so he can't get to the ball. Great play by the quarterback.
Heads up play also by Lamar Cooper. Now 2nd and goal from the 10-yard line. Horacek, the motion. Spencer. A huge score for the Iowa Barnstormers.
Polari, again, I'm seeing shades of Kurt Warner here, Mike. He's buying time for his receivers. Scooting around in the offensive backfield, buying time, and then Horacek with a great catch. Look at, he's got some time. He's back here a while. He's sidestepping defenders and then creating on the move. And a beautiful one-handed catch right there.
And because Polari has that nimbleness, he forces Arizona's defenders to stay in their rush lanes. Early on to attempt the extra point. And we've got a brand new ball game. Almost on every possession we have a brand new ball game. 2017, the Rattlers lead, but the Barnstormers battling back.
Wouldn't it be nice if everything were guaranteed like cable service?
Sorry to keep you waiting. Here's $20.
I'm sorry your table wasn't ready. Your dinner will be free.
Wouldn't it be nice? But only Time Warner Cable offers you on-time service appointments or a $20 credit, guaranteed. An on-time installation or it's free. Too bad everything isn't guaranteed like Time Warner Cable.
Sorry we're late, folks. This flight will be free.
One more shot. One more block. One more pass. One more chance to risk it all. Because in the playoffs, you win one more time, or you go home. The NBA playoffs continue on TNT. Over 30 games in 30 nights. Everyone counts.
The high-flying hoopla explodes this month on Time Warner Cable.
Arizona Rattlers leading Iowa 20-17 here midway through the second quarter. Next week, our coverage of Arena Football League takes us to New Jersey, where the Red Dogs wide receiver Larry Willis will be putting his magic on display. But the Albany Firebirds will counter with their high-flying Eddie Brown as two of the league's most potent offenses hook up next Monday only on ESPN2. 7:30 Eastern Time, the kickoff.
Well, let's see if the matchup, Brian Hurley and Hunky Cooper, see if they meet again. Looks for Brian Hurley's sake, he hopes not.
Hunky has already had one touchdown. He's returned for on a kick. Taking it off the net. This time, better job by the Iowa coverage teams, bringing Cooper down inside the 10-yard line. The first time he has not gotten loose here. As you look at the Iowa scoring drive.
This is a nice scoring drive for Charles Polari. This is one he definitely needed to move his team down. A little adversity with the fumble. They were on the 1-yard line. They go back to the 10-yard. He still has the ability to get this team into the end zone.
Right. Mike Garacek has stepped up big today. In 1997, his numbers for the entire year already, he's way ahead of the curve. Just played a little bigger receiver that John Gregory is looking for this year. 6'2", 200. The good to Brian Easter on the backfield. Arizona trying to pound it. Jay Showers on the tackle. A reminder, at the end of the game, we'll be selecting the Tenacton Ironman Player of the Game. And at the end of the season, Tenacton will be making a donation to the Special Olympics on behalf of the Ironman Player of the Year. So far, you have to give the nod to number 14 for Arizona, Hunky Cooper. Jet Snader in motion. Bonner's got it. First down, Arizona, just like that. Shea Showers all over Calvin, but before he had a chance to react, Bonner or Scheckstader was right in his face.
Wait, the wax right X loop. Fire dive 32. Quick screen left to win. Here we go. Listen up. Wax right X loop. We're gonna go fire dive 32. Quick screen left to wing on 101. Ready? Right.
Cedric Bonner has called the play. 3 seconds left on the time clock. Got to hurry. He's got it off to Hunky Cooper. The screen pass. Nicely done. A gain of 7 into Iowa territory.
Well, again, Cedric Bonner has not had an incompletion yet. And what does that do? It lets you throw 15-yard passes. It lets you throw 3-yard passes. It lets you throw little out passes. They can run anything they want to run out right now because Iowa's not stopping. Calvin Scheckstader is going in that high motion. When you see him run and have that motion to the line of scrimmage, that means the defender on him, which has been the rookie Shea Showers playing way off. of Schecknader right now, and he is wide open for the easy reception.
Second down and 4 now for the Rattlers. Here's that high motion from Schecknader. They give it instead to Brian Easter, from 4 or 5 Iowa tacklers. That's how many it takes to bring him down. The last man to reach him, Jay Showers. The first, Leonard Conley. Following our game later today on the Deuce, the PGA Senior Tour and final round coverage of the Bruno's Memorial Classic. Terry Dill started the day atop the leaderboard at 9 under. Bruno's Memorial Classic presented by Cadillac later today on ESPN2. Defensive coordinator Art Heggie exhorting his troops. Pick it up a notch, guys. Third down. Gatewood underneath. Touchdown, Arizona. Bonner still perfect.
Iowa was actually doing the right thing there, Mike. They were coming up and playing tight on the receivers since it was 3rd and short. But Cedric Bonner, good protection, nobody around him, gets a chance for the receivers to get into their patterns. Gatewood just able to pull away from his defender for the easy touchdown.
And the group that's doing a terrific job, that offensive line for Arizona, Mark Tucker, Darren Kenny, Joe Birch, Tony Henderson. Bonner has been virtually untouched. Remember, a year ago during the regular season, they did not allow a sack of Bonner. Geary with the extra point attempted is up, and he misses again, but flags are down again.
Boy, going into the season, Arizona was confident in their kicking game. Iowa shaky, but it's been the total reverse today. With Geary struggling and Brian Hurley doing well for Iowa.
Illegal defense. Receiving team, outside rush, number 5. Repeat the extra point from the 1 1/4.
It's the second time we've seen Iowa on the rush again. You cannot rush from the outside. The rush has got to come from the middle of the field. Iowa rush from the outside. Arizona will get another shot.
We're going to start calling him Michael's second chance Geary.
Well, and because Geary has missed 2, I think there's a possibility they may go for 2 here, Mike.
It is the only chink in the Rattler armor that we have seen so far today, the kicking game.
Pitch 37 man on 1-on-1. Ready? Come on, Bo, get it in.
So they will go for 2. Number 2, Bo Kelly in the backfield now. At fullback. Schecknader, the motion man, gives Arizona 3 wide to the left. They give it to Kelly, but he's knocked out of bounds before he can cross the plane of the goal line. Credit Jay Showers, the former Florida Gator, with a big play for Iowa. Bo Kelly, did he make it? No way.
A deadly asteroid. A radioactive dinosaur. Another deadly asteroid. Whatever. This summer, if you're looking for danger, excitement, and adventure, X marks the spot. The X Games, a Starburst production.
You know, things are bad when cheerleaders are bumming. So you're 0-26, and your star player got beat up by Bobo, the team mascot. I got just the thing to perk up those pom-poms. Starburst fruit juice. Entonces, Pumba. Come on, girls, sing it.
Go, Starburst, go! Go, Starburst, go!
Uh-huh.
Go, Starburst, go! Go, Starburst, go!
Crowd is going wild.
Starburst fruit juice. The flavor's a bang, a burst. Need a boost? Give it some juice.
Go, Starburst, go!
Here in Iowa, the Arizona Rattlers, defending Arena Football League champions, have taken a 9-point lead on Arizona, courtesy of Randy Gatewood, who was sensational last year against just about everybody in the league. One of the best two-way players in the Arena League. A threat on offense and also on defense. He'll smack you just like all of these Arizona Rattler defenders will.
Danny White, head coach of the Rattlers, felt that Gatewood actually said he wouldn't trade him straight up for Barry Wagner, the noted best two-way player in Arena football history.
Michael Geary with a fine kick, averting the potential run back by Lamar Cooper. Flag down.
All right. Kick was wide of the net. Out of bounds in the air. Ball starts on the 20-yard line.
Michael Geary struggling, wants to either hit the net, any part of the net, especially the soft part, misses it completely. So it's an out-of-bounds kick and comes to the 20-yard line.
So as a result, Iowa getting great field position. Swing in motion, but looking to Lamar Cooper instead. Completion along the near sidelines, gain of 8, 2nd down and 2, Iowa.
Well, the way the Arizona offense is going, Iowa's got to stay with them punch for punch. They can't afford, down 9 points right now, can't afford to fall down much more than this. Need to start making a move. The offense has got to go punch for punch with the Rattlers offense.
Go! Lamar Cooper in motion. Polarius got time across the middle. First time we've mentioned his name. He's been banged up a little bit during the preseason. He was somewhat doubtful coming into this game, but healthy enough to start here against the Rattlers.
The Rattlers backing off in their defense. Sean Parnell and the new guy, Marvin Bagley, defenders, getting a little mixed up there on who's got coverage. Both caught standing.
98 toss pass. First down.
As the receiver, just Leonard Conley runs right by him, and neither one really reacts to him moving.
So 1st and goal from the Iowa 6. Polari play action. Kevin Swain. A star is born here in Des Moines, Iowa.
Carlos Polari making people say, Kurt who?
Maybe not that drastic yet.
Not yet, huh? Nice little play action. Actually, he had 2 receivers open. Nice throw to Swain. He had Leonard Conley wide open right in front of Swain. He could have picked either man.
And I'll tell you, our Iron Man award going to our cameraman. He gets knocked down, his headset comes off, but he still keeps his focus. Get that man's name. We'll give him a special commendation from the commissioner, C. David Baker. At the very least, of free football. Everyone else gets one. Brian Hurley on to attempt the extra point, which could bring Iowa to within 2. It's perfect, and it does. And as we go to break, our shot from our fearless cameraman. Staying with it all the way. You gotta love it.
I'm George Morrison, reminding you to give all you can and score one for the kids.
Even naked.
Not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers, because nothing handles your hunger better.
Don't look at me.
Hungry? Why wait?
Now you see me, now you don't. That's why you need Rain-X on your windshield. Rain-X is easy to use. It forms a super slick shield that repels water, sleet, and snow. You can clearly see the difference. And better visibility means better response time, up to a full second or more at highway speeds. That's almost 4 car lengths of extra stopping distance. So no matter what the weather, it's easy to see why you need Rain-X.
Now for Mother's Day, Zales, the diamond store, has our best selection of diamond earrings. Every size, every style. Like these half-carat hoops for just $2.99 at Zales.
The Iowa Barnstormers giving Arizona, the defending league champions, all they want. They trail by 2 here late in the 2nd quarter. Barnstormer bench. All right, one of the great things about Iowa, we'll show you this a little bit later, is the fans actually buy you refreshment here. Love coming here. Michael just got his nachos as we look at Brian Hurley's kick go off the net, and Hunky Cooper's got to get it. That last Iowa scoring drive, 3 plays, 30 yards. Kevin Swain, one of the new faces faces on this Iowa team this year with the 6-yard reception from Charles Polari, who's having a whale of a game.
He really is. He's a little shaky in the beginning, but he has really brought it along very, very fast and showing a lot of poise in the pocket.
If you don't have a guy who can pull the trigger in this league, you're out of business. Bonner, perfect 8 for 8. Polari in place of the great Kurt Warner, 13 for 19 today. As we watch Bonner again on this Arizona possession. 9 for 9, James, baby, you dropped it. This guy never makes a mistake.
You know, on a plane ride home, if this goes Arizona's way, when they can goof around a little bit, Cedric's gonna come up to Shakes and say, "Come on, man, I had a nice string going. I couldn't have put it in your hands any better than this." Shakes just wanting to run with the ball before he's got it.
Oop, there it is. Well, so much for the streak. That's gone by the boards, but Bonner still 8 for 9 and looking for more. Reminder coming up at halftime. ESPN News will go back to our studios and get you updated on what is happening today in the NBA playoffs and also the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's the ESPN News at halftime.
Two plays in a row. Schexnayder and then Duncan dropping Cedric Bonner's passes. Big play here for Iowa. This would be a huge stop for him.
And the crowd here at the Veterans Memorial Auditorium very much in it. 47 ticks left on the clock. Bonner. Cedric James. Carlos James, I should say. The assassin, they call him. And that was a huge, huge play for Iowa.
See a nice break on the ball by Carlos James. And right after this play, Cedric Bonner was down in Herb Duncan's face. And I believe we were saying you've got to come back for the ball. Herb Duncan just stood there, waited for the ball. Carlos James with a nice break in front of it. And Cedric Bonner sprinted down the field, got in Herb Duncan's face and said, you've got to come back for the ball.
His 13 pass deflections last year put him in the top 10 in the league standings. And so Michael Geary on to attempt a 51-yard field goal, but Cedric Bonner calls timeout. Hopefully, did he call it before the game clock expired?
He got the timeout in. So that won't cost him 3 more yards to make it a 54-yarder. Boy, Arizona's looked so smooth offensively this series. They've kind of fallen apart. A couple of drop passes and a nice play by Carlos James on the Iowa defense.
You want to use your teeth? All right. Hey, come here. Listen up. We're going to put a charge on here. We're trying to get the momentum. All right, let's make this kick. Protect for Mike. Give me a good snap. I'll put it down. He'll put it in. All right, let's go. All right, let's go. Regular kick on set. On set, on set. Ready? Regular.
And Bonner sort of like those old E.F. Hutton commercials. When he speaks, his teammates listen.
Now remember, Michael Geary should miss this. Lamar Cooper is deep for Iowa, and he can return it.
Ball is live off the nets. Bonner has to scramble to get the snap down, the ball down. And as a result, the kick is wide left. Here comes Cooper. He's got great speed. He's going to get it. But Cliff Fleming, number 10, the old Arena Football League veteran, makes the tackle, and maybe a touchdown, saving tackle at that.
Momentum has swung at the barn. Field goal nowhere near being good. Cooper picks it off the net and brings it back up. Only 2 points down with 27 seconds to go. And with the way Brian Hurley, Iowa's kicker, has been kicking the ball, they're in field goal range right now. But I guarantee you they're going to try and put 7 on the board.
All right, pitch right, 83-48. On set, on set.
Pitch right, 83-48, Mike.
5-step drop. When you hear the 80, that is a 5-step drop. The numbers give each of their receivers their designated route.
Very cool. Flag down in the Iowa backfield. Cooper is running loose in the Arizona secondary, but they're going to call this one back, I believe.
Oh, Wes Fritz is saying, yeah, bring it back. Got holding on Iowa. Again, Polari, a nice job of biding his time. Cedric Walker and Cecil Doggett, defensive backs for Arizona. Again, double teaming one receiver, leaving another wide open.
Looks so well. That's not holding. 50 on the offense with a tackle. It remains first down after the 8-yard penalty.
Watch the center, John Dixon, number 50.
Forget about it, man.
Yeah, you see that shirt get pulled once he gets by him. Look at the center, number 6, number 50. As the defender gets by, he tackles his leg right there. Wes Fritz grabbing that flag and throwing it.
Get some of the yardage back. He's knocked out of bounds, and there are just 2 seconds left to go here in the first half.
What a lift this would be. The new kicker coming in as time expires, giving his team a 1-point lead against the Arena Bowl champions.
This past Tuesday, Brian Hurley was brought in along with 5 other potential kickers because Iowa's scheduled kicker, Ian Howfield, underwent back surgery, lost for the season. Hurley last played competitively in 1996. He was the Sun Bowl MVP for Iowa as they beat Washington. For 2 years, he's been dormant until today, and now he's on to attempt a 38-yarder. He already has a 55-yarder. It is up. Oh, baby, it is good. Do you believe it? Everybody up on their feet here in the barn, but there is laundry on the field. Don't tell me they're going to bring this one back.
Outside rush on the defense.
No, it's against Arizona. Decline the penalty. Arizona penalized. Iowa will take a 1-point lead into the locker room.
We saw a lot of kickers last year, Mike. Very few did we see get him up and over. Look at the height on that kick. Really making the referees work now. The ball's not hitting the net at all for him.
My question, Mike, is since this guy lives so close by in Iowa City, why didn't they find him earlier? Brian Hurley, a new star for the Iowa Barnstormers. Halftime coming up with ESPN News.
Kit Kat break.
1, 2, 3, 4. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me up a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
This is the strength of the Iowa team, the amount of people you can throw the ball to. And Kurt Warner did it well for 4 years here. And now Charles Polari almost picking up where he left off.
And of course, the reintroduction of Chris Spencer, the big wide receiver from Iowa State, into the Barnstormer lineup has paid dividends. Early, another high, deep kick. Cooper gets it off the crossbar. Flag on the play. And Cooper is shoestring tackled inside the 5 by Tony Catchings.
This is another one of those interesting rules. Number 42, John Moten for Iowa, was past the 5-yard line before the receiver had a chance to catch the ball off the net. He cannot be past the 5-yard line.
Violation of the 5-yard belt by number 5 of the kicking team. Enforced from the touchback mark. First down on the 8.
Again, the receiver has got to be able to catch the ball, and before he does that, nobody from Iowa's kickoff team can pass the 5-yard line.
First down, ready? Go!
So 3 yards tacked on to the touchback spot, which was the 5-yard line. The ball now sitting at the 8 for Arizona as we begin the second half. Bonner with time. Overthrows a wide open Hunky Cooper. Bonner under pressure, heavy pressure by number 95, Tony Catchings, a 6-year veteran from Cincinnati.
It's the first time we've seen Bonner even on the ground this game. As you see, last year just 1 sack in the regular season, and that was to their backup, Donnie Davis. Cedric Bonner was not sacked at all last year.
So left trip, wing loop, laser 10 on 2-on-2, ready?
Left trips. 3 wide receivers to one side. There you see him, Gatewood, Scheck-Snader, and Hunky Cooper, who now goes in motion to his left. Bonner looking for Cooper's guy. Horacek. Mike Horacek knocking him out of bounds.
They're a very patient team, Arizona is. 2nd and 10. Says, I'll pick up 4 or 5 yards. I'll do it on 3rd down. They don't need to go for the ball right off the bat every single play.
Next loop. Laser 10 on one. Ready?
Bob McMillan now in at fullback for Arizona, number 44. Scheckstader motion right. He's got the first down in front of Shea Showers. Newly acquired defensive back for Iowa this season.
Again, a great strategy when you only need 4 or 5 yards. You throw it to the man in high motion because the man defending him is going to back off and give him those yards.
Left, Y loop. 53 wing slant out, X post on 101. Ready? Left. Yes. One. Get one.
Play clock running down.
And Byron has to call timeout with just 2 seconds left on that 25-second clock.
No, I said left. Yeah, I said left. You called left. Yeah.
Scheckstader going my bad, and Danny White a little unhappy the way things are sort of backfiring here of late. Back with more Arena football from Iowa in a moment.
Don't you push that button. Don't even think about it. This is Arena football.
A 50-yard indoor war. Balls going into the stand. Rebound nets. No punting. High scoring. With the fans so close, they can reach out and touch it.
You want more of this? Then keep your butt in that seat and stay tuned to ESPN or The Deuce.
Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, now through August. Watch Arena football on ESPN or The Deuce.
Arena football!
With AT&T One Rate International, it's $7.08 for a 12-minute call from the U.S. to Mexico. With 10321, it's $10.56. Surprised? 9 out of 10 calls from home cost less with One Rate International. So give us a call today.
I've won my share of races, but I didn't do it alone. It takes a great team. And Slick 50 is a part of my team. I'm one of the millions of people who rely on it.
Now there's Slick 50 Synchron synthetic engine treatment with a 100,000-mile limited warranty and pour-and-drive convenience.
It's hard to beat Slick 50. I count on that.
Slick 50 Synchron synthetic, the next generation of engine treatments.
And for peak performance, use Slick 50 Synchron synthetic fuel system treatment.
4 tires, fuel, and out the door.
We asked the hottest guys in the pits to switch antiperspirants.
Ultra dry degree, body heat activated.
When your body heat rises degrees, new Ultra Dry form releases extra protection.
Worked better than my old stick.
It kept me dry. Ultra Dry.
New from Degree.
12:34 remaining here in the third quarter. Iowa leading Arizona 27-26 in this opening season game here on Arena Football. Later on tonight on ESPN, the Chicago White Sox and Anaheim Angels collide on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. Frank Thomas, Albert Bell, the big hitters for White Sox. Tim Salmon for the Angels on the injured list. You won't see him tonight, but you'll see some great baseball action tonight at 8 Eastern on ESPN. Barnstormer cheerleaders have a lot to cheer about. Their team has rallied nicely here to take a 1-point lead. 12:34 remaining here in the third quarter of play. Bonner with the voice inflection gets Anthony Hutch to jump off sides. It won't matter. Free play. Calvin Scheckstader wide open, beating Mike Karachek.
You said it perfectly, Mike. Free play. Cedric Bonner knew he had a free play. These guys are amazing how they can work together. Calvin Scheckstader knew they had a free play. Go deep. You know you get the offside. Bonner just lays it up, and it's 6 points. Great job by Cedric Bonner drawing him off sides. No contact made on the offside, so the play goes. He knows he's got one in the tank. Shakes knows that as well. He goes deep. They've done it many, many times before.
And for Shakes, touchdown number 3 in this game. He had 29 a year ago for the season. He's on pace to break that Arizona team record this year. Geary on to attempt the extra point. Those spots have not come easily. The kick is up, and it's good this time, but again, a flag down on the play.
Now we have to remember this is the first game after the preseason game, so he's still going to get some of these type of penalties and mistakes. That'll be on the defensive team. Illegal rush on the outside again, I believe.
Illegal defense. Outside rush by the right defensive end. Decline. Extra point is good.
That's the third time we see Iowa do that. At some point, they're going to have to fix that when they can't begin to flag on every extra point try.
John Gregory talking to the officials, but Arizona has regained the lead after that 29-yard touchdown reception to Calvin Schexnayder.
The potential is there to make so much money.
Money's pretty good. I'm living better than I ever have. The hours are great.
I'm there for my kids during the day.
I have time to study.
I play golf maybe 4 or 5 times a week.
The benefits are so great.
You have medical, dental, 401k.
They do a very good job training here, and the product sells itself.
This could be your job at Time Warner Cable.
After I made my first sale, I knew I could sell cable.
On April 5th,
lift off and clock's running.
America's greatest journey.
Want to get to the moon or not?
Becomes television's biggest miniseries.
Can we do this?
We have to. Tom Hanks, Imagine Entertainment, and Home Box Office present From the Earth to the Moon.
Tune to HBO, this month's featured network. On Time Warner Cable.
Back here in Des Moines, Iowa, the Arizona Rattlers lead the Iowa Barnstormers 33-27 midway through the third quarter. I'm Mike Adamley along with Mike Golick. The Hall of Fame game here in Des Moines, Iowa. Last night they inducted the very first class ever, 8 men in all, charter members of the first ever Arena Football League Hall of Fame.
Here's the vote.
Gary's kick off the crossbar, fielded by Chris Spencer, number 83. He made it with face mask.
No way about that. He was face mask. You're absolutely right. Darren Kenny grabbed the face mask and hung on.
Referee Wes Fritz.
Face mask, 3-yard penalty. Another 3. First and 10.
See as Spencer starts to break outside number 58, Darren Kenny tries to contain him, gets a hold of that face mask and pulls him down.
So now Iowa goes on offense. Lamar Cooper, the motion man. Pollard pumps in his direction. It goes to Mike Voracek instead, who can't hang on. Cedric Walker, Arizona's number 5, on the coverage.
I think Iowa needs to do the same thing they did in the beginning of the game, Mike. Start with the shorter passes here. Polari starts right off the bat with about a 15, 18-yard pass. They did better in the first half with the new quarterback working with the receivers, the shorter passes and building downfield, and try not to take too much too early.
And despite the fact that number 44, Bob McMillan, was in Polari's face, Charles able to find his big receiver, Chris Spencer.
Here you go. This is just about an 8-yard crossing pattern, and to let your receiver do the rest. You see 3 guys to take him down. You think a lot of the Barnstormers are saying, boy, what if we had this big guy last year in the Arena Bowl?
6'4", 235, almost like a nimble tight end. Larry, the quick short roll to the right. And he'll have to throw this one out of bounds. Again, Bob McMillan, number 44, applying the pressure. 4th-year pro out of Illinois Benedictine, and another gift for our souvenir for our Arena Football League fans. You gotta love it.
Every time it goes in the stands, boy.
Who you want, Z? Z motion?
Thing to get autographed then.
Z motion? Trips right. 90, 348, on set, ready?
The 90 is a slide protection. The lineman will slide to 3-4-8. The 3 number, the 4 number, the 8 number, all the routes that the receivers will run.
That little toss, more of a push than a pass, but it's a completion to Mike Voracek. A good gain, good for about 5 yards.
Nice short passes, keeping possession, moving down with a second down and 3-4 yards to go. It really opens up your options on offense.
And again, the little larger target for Charles Polari to look at. Horacek 6'2", Spencer 6'4".
Well, don't be surprised also to see Big Tony catching sometimes pretty soon the lineman tight end for the pass.
This time catching, extending the block. Doesn't matter. Lamar Cooper's wide open for Charles Polari. Touchdown pass number 4 in his debut as starter here for the Iowa Barnstormers.
Great job by the Iowa offensive line, giving him time that time. Nobody in his face. Whenever you have to cover receivers for this long, look at the top of your screen to the right. Cecil Doggett on the coverage. He breaks in. Receiver breaks out. Wide open for the touchdown.
And again, the pass protection, magnificent. Brian Hurley on to attempt the extra point. Kenny Nord, the backup quarterback, the spot. It's up, it's good. And Hurley, who's been a star in this game, an unlikely star, has given the Iowa Barnstormers a 1-point lead. 34-33, 8:25 remaining in the third. Stay with us.
Now you see me, now you don't. That's why you need Rain-X on your windshield. Rain-X is easy to use. It forms a super slick shield that repels water, sleet, and snow. You can clearly see the difference. And better visibility means better response time, up to a full second or more at highway speeds. That's almost 4 car lengths of extra stopping distance. So no matter what the weather, it's easy to see why you need Rain-X.
Hey, little pumpkin, you are so cute, aren't you? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Honey, look how cute. Honey, wait a minute. I think he's gonna say something. Say hi to Dada. Say hi to Dada. Come on, zoom in. Zoom in, I think he's gonna say it. Zoom in. Hey, say hi to Dada. Say hi, Dada.
Oh, Daddy, you paid too much for that camcorder.
Circuit City, experts in every department, low prices all over the store.
With the 1-point lead over Arizona, and Charles Polari. You know, John Gregory had great confidence in this kid, thought he was going to do well, but I'm not sure that the coach could have ever envisioned that Polari would have the kind of day he's had so far. You look at the Iowa scoring drive, 5 plays, 36 yards, culminated with the 10-yard reception to Lamar Cooper, but Polari, 4 touchdown passes, and still a ton of time to go.
And head coach John Gregory didn't want to rely on the receivers, but Polari's saying, hey, listen, you know what, I can handle it too, and that's going to make this offense, it may be as close as it's done the last couple of years with this offense run by Kurt Warner.
The other question mark was kicker Brian Hurley, and he has answered those and then some. That's his first kickoff of the game. This one goes directly to Hunky Cooper, who already has a 51-yarder for a touchdown to his credit. He gets it across the 15-yard line. And that's where Arizona will put the ball in play. In 1997, Iowa led the league in scoring offense, 57.4 points per game, but that was with Kurt Warner at the control.
Yeah, and I'm sure you had to question whether they could reach those heights again. Charles Polari putting them right on track for that. You know, it may make you wonder, is it the player, the system, you know, combination of a great core of receivers sure doesn't hurt.
John Moten, the player being attended to on the field. A reminder tonight at 11 Eastern time on the Deuce. Get ready to buckle up. Incredible speed and horsepower on display in the 1998 Castrol Lone Star Nationals. Top Fuel, Funny Car, and Pro Stock titles will all be on the line. Well, this is the Hall of Fame. Last night, the inaugural class was inducted. Dwayne Dixon, who is now a coach with the Florida Gators. He won 3 title rings while with the Detroit Drive. Gary Mullen, also Tate Randall, whose little kids are watching today in Geronimo, Texas. They wanted their daddy to hear that they're very proud of him. Alvin Reddick also inducted. He had 3 title rings with Detroit, 1 with Denver.
Here's a great story here. Craig Walls, 25 career sacks in just 2 seasons in arena football. He goes into the Hall of Fame. Jim Foster, everybody knows this man. He is the one who started the league on a manila envelope so many years ago. Tim Markham, head coach of the Tampa Bay Storm, and a fiery competitor. He gets inducted. And Jerry Kurtz, he's the director of European game development. Well, he does a lot more than that. He's been very instrumental in arena football.
It was a nice affair last night. John Mackey, the featured speaker. Last night in arena football, or Friday night, I should say, Milwaukee, the Mustangs, under new coach Ricky Frazier, got off to a good start, 54-47 over the Florida Bobcats. Orlando wins big over new franchise Grand Rapids. Barry Wagner, 6-time league MVP, off to a great start, 3 touchdown receptions, 121 yards. Nashville, I look for them to be a real threat to win it all this year. Andy Kelly on the mark, 4 touchdown passes in Tampa Bay. You talked about Tim Markham.
Tim Markham had an off year last year, and this is a man who's been to plenty of arena bowls with Tampa Bay and the Detroit Drive. He's going to get that team back. San Jose snuck up on some people last year. I'm sure wanted to get out of the gates very fast with Todd Shell, their fiery coach there also, but didn't work the other day.
And then next Monday night, the game that we'll have between the Albany Firebirds and the New Jersey Red Dogs. Albany beat Portland 65-58. Eddie Brown with 5 touchdowns. And that game tomorrow night will be huge. These two teams do not like each other. The Red Dogs and the City Hawks. And again, we'll see the New Jersey team next week against Albany. It's amazing what that scene does for a player.
I'll tell you, it'll heal you. John Moten was down on the ground, and they were going to get the stretcher. He looked up and saw they were going to get the stretcher and said, no, thank you. I'm going to get up and walk off this field. No, that's a horrible sight for a football player.
He may be more hurt than he's letting on to it, but darn if he was going to let that stretcher take him off the field. Another great day to be a Barnstormer fan here in the Veterans Memorial Auditorium, the barn they call it, and they love their arena football. Stormers lead by 1 here in the 3rd quarter. Arizona on the attack. Fire by Tom Hay. Randy Gatewood wide open. First down, Rattlers.
Well, that's Cedric Bonner right there in the pocket, getting time, starts to break down a little bit, rolls to his left. He is a left-handed quarterback, so he's rolling the way. He can throw. His receivers, these guys have all played together for a long time. They know, they see him start to scramble, they'll follow him. Some will come back to the ball. That's been a big thing for this team, Mike, because a lot of these players have been Arizona Rattlers for many years.
Bonner 12 for 16 so far. At one point during this game, he was a perfect 8 for 8 until Calvin Scheckstetter dropped one. Shakes the man in motion here. The pitch to Brian Easter, the big fullback. Gary Howe, the first to reach him. David Bush, number 65, polishes him off.
David Bush at 6'1", 295, Mike, was playing linebacker that time with Chris Spencer. How about a 290-pounder floating sideways as a linebacker on you?
It helps to be versatile in this league. Played his college football at South Dakota, a 4-year veteran. Now he's playing Bush's defensive end. Gary Howe, the nose guard. Tony Ketchings, the other defensive end. Gatewood in motion. They fake the pitch to Bo Kelly. Instead, they throw it out to Scheckstetter inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line.
It's a nice play. You start the whole process one way and come back for the quick screen the other way to Scheckstetter. He gets the lineman out in front of him, and they get the first down. See big Mark Tucker out blocking for him. Missed the block, unfortunately. If he'd have got that block on Mike Horacek, Shakes may have gotten in the end zone.
You know, they have the 5-yard chuck rule in this league, just like the National Football League. But Scheckstetter is so difficult to lay a glove on. He's got that herky-jerky motion. He's listed at 195, but if he weighs 175, 180, I'd be surprised. So quick to give the Bo Kelly. Inside the 5, pounding his way down to the 3.
Hunky Cooper went in the high motion that time. He became a bullet lead blocker. He just comes and he comes right through on Spencer. Chris Spencer does a great job of sidestepping him and making the tackle.
That was that old Olay.
Yeah, exactly.
5:22 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and goal for the defending Arena Bowl champion Arizona Rattlers. Bo Kelly knifes his way down to maybe the 1. Nice play by number 3, Larry Blue, a 4-year pro from the University of Iowa. 6'3", 250. He can play linebacker. He can play defensive end. He's also the snapper and punts.
Look at this. Their helmets are stuck together. Hunky Cooper came through to lead block the same way he did the other play. Larry Blue saw it coming and met him in the hole, and their helmets actually are melded together.
Well, that will make the league's weekly highlight reel for sure.
Larry Blue, they love this guy. Very versatile because he can play D-line and linebacker. Look at number 3. He fills it, drives Hunky Cooper back. That's a mismatch as far as blocking is concerned.
Hunky got stuffed, but he should have. He's given away about 60 pounds. Bonner laying it up. Schexnayder! There's a call. Touchdown for Calvin Schexnayder. Touchdown pass reception number 4.
I think the happiest person on that touchdown pass is Hunky Cooper. They didn't have to lead it up in the middle anymore after that last play. And a good job again by Cedric Bonner. Starts the whole flow to the left. Calvin Schexnayder's lined up on the left. He'll come to the back of the end zone and drift to this corner of the end zone, and Cedric Bonner puts a beautiful touch on the ball.
You know, Shakes attended last night's Hall of Fame induction ceremony, and he was in absolute awe of tight end John Mackey, who was the guest speaker here. Well, Mackey's in attendance today, and I guarantee you that Big John has got to be impressed with number 8, Calvin Schexnayder. Geary on to attempt the extra point. It is up, it is good, and Arizona back out in front, 40-34, 3:55 remaining here in Iowa. You're watching the Arena Football League here on ESPN2.
RPM tonight, Monday through Saturday at 7 and Sunday at 12 and 8, only on ESPN2.
Arena Football's motto in 1998, Mike Golick, don't blink. Don't blink when you're watching the Barnstormers and Rattlers. Arizona just scored to regain the lead, I should say, 40-34 as we take a look at the Rattlers scoring drive. 6 plays, 33 yards, and for Calvin Schexnayder, TD reception number 4. Michael Geary set to kick off. Lamar Cooper catches it, but his toe stepped on the end of the end line of the end zone, and they'll bring it out to the 5-yard line.
We just got word on John Moten, the fullback linebacker for Iowa, had a very bad stinger. You know those that when you get into your neck, it kind of numbs the side of your body. So immediately, I'm sure there's a scary that you lose some feeling, but he will be okay. There's the foot on the end line, no return, and that's what you want as a kicking team.
And that's what you call toeing the line, huh?
You got to start already.
Sure. Iowa starting from the toe 5-yard line. Charles Polari, who's having a terrific game, finding Lamar Cooper. Various reports in this guy, anything from a 4.31 to, I asked Cooper what he ran the 40-yard, and he said in track spikes on asphalt, how about 4.19?
That
Yikes.
is fast. And it's a great setup. You just get him a short little pass like that. That's a setup for maybe in the 4th quarter. Same play, fake the pass, and he goes deep for a bomb.
Polari. Charles Polari hasn't called his number of late, but they go back to him here, and a big first down.
You know, you got Chris Spencer at 6'4", and Kevin Swain is 6'2", just under 200 pounds. More size in the receiving core. That's something that Iowa's lacking. They've had a lot of little guys. Now they have some size. Swain going up for the ball helps the quarterback. He knows he can lay the ball high, and his taller receivers can get up there and get the ball.
Sway now wide to the right. Leonard Conley, number 28, in the slot. The give is to Cooper, who gets the ball out of the backfield. Cooper weighs about 155 pounds. On top of him, 296-pound Joe Birch. That's the way to do it, says defensive coordinator Doug Kay.
Well, I tell you what, I don't know if anybody on the Iowa line blocked anyone. There's 3 Rattlers standing there. Birch just about took the handoff away from Cooper. I don't think Cooper wants to run that play anymore.
Loss of 2, 2nd down and 12 for Iowa. This time they keep it. Larry Conley wide open. Charles Polari starting in place of the much heralded Kurt Warner, who now playing over in the NFL European League. Another touchdown pass to Leonard Conley this time.
Well, you look at the defensive backs from Arizona, and they're all standing with their hands on their hip, just confused right now. Cedric Walker, Cecil Doggett, Marvin Bagley, the rookie. And Doug Kay, the defensive coordinator, was calling it as the snap. He was saying crossing his arm, saying they're running a crossing pattern. Crossing patterns where 2 receivers cross in front of each other. A lot of times that takes the DBs. 2 of them will follow one, leaving one wide receiver wide open. Just what happened in that case right there.
And the man getting up slowly from the turf, Big Joe Birch. Birch getting blocked by Tony Ketchings initially, and then Larry Blue, and Leonard Conley wide open. And that may have been a costly miss. Brian Hurley, first poor thing he's done all day, missing the extra point. As a result, we are tied at 40 with 1:13 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Well, the NBA playoffs are just beginning to heat up. So for the best in highlights and insights, join Stuart Scott Tuesdays through Saturdays for NBA Tonight exclusively on The Deuce.
Well, there's Charles Polari again, taking him down, 4 plays, 55 yards. We talked early about how Iowa had to go punch for punch with Arizona, and as you see, 40-40, it is an even match right now as we're almost getting ready to start the 4th quarter. You know, you can't say it enough, though, Mike. John Gregory, head coach, as we look at Danny White for the Rattlers, John Gregory for Iowa, got to be very pleased with what Charles Polari is doing in his first start here.
Well, the thing that I like about him is his escapability, much like Kurt Warner was. He doesn't have great speed, but he's got quick enough feet to buy a little extra time to allow his receivers to get open. Warner had that.
And the thing also, the same with them, neither one wants to run it. They're going to scramble and look for their receiver. They're not going to get out of the pocket and look to run the ball like other quarterbacks may. They want to stay behind the line and make that pass.
So Brian Hurley will kick off, score tied at 40.
Here's the boots.
High. And into the soft part of the netting, but Hunky Cooper's going to take it out anyway. And he gets tackled with his own end zone. Which is an automatic touchback.
Automatic touchback, no safety when that occurs. So it's a touchback come out to the 3-yard line. My mistake comes out to the 5-yard line. We see what Hunky Cooper did early in the game with big returns. This time doesn't get it cleanly. That throws off the timing. When you start to run east and west on a kickoff return, you're giving that kick team plenty of time to come down.
And it's amazing that momentary hesitation enough to allow the coverage to get down there and spoil the play. So here we go, tied at 40. 2 great displays of quarterbacking so far on the part of Charles Polari from Iowa and this man, Cedric Bonner, number 13.
Carlos James over on the sideline having a wheel problem, I guess, if we were in talking about racing.
Through a shoe.
So he'll get rehooked there.
Cut some of the tape. He'll need another tape job as well just to keep that shoe on.
Arizona looked very good early in the game, but their last couple of drives have been a little shaky.
You know, it all started, as we look at Joe Birch on the sideline, he appears to be okay. It all started when Schexnayder dropped that pass. At that point, Bonner had been like 8 for 8. Then Shakes dropped one, and then Herb Duncan dropped one, and all of a sudden, Arizona not quite in sync.
You know, when we had that shot of Joe Birch on the sidelines, I was watching him down here. I'm like, it looked to me like they were putting his shoulder back into place, and now I think he's getting ready to come back out on the field. Come on, talk about toughness.
Herb Duncan, the motion man, number 81, Bonner, Scott Schexnayder. Runs that little curl pattern in front of Carlos James, good for about 8 yards.
Carlos James, right after their play, immediately down fixing his shoe again. Hey, is that a smart play? The guy's got a shoe problem. Let's throw right at him.
He didn't have a chance to get the tape job.
See, he's backing off. These Arizona Rattler receivers have a lot of respect around the league, and they get the defensive backs backing off, thinking they're running deep. They get easy catches for 3-4 yards if they turn into 10-yard games. You see Carlos James like to have his shoe spatted. He doesn't have it on the one shoe. It's amazing. A little thing like that can throw a guy off.
It's the shoes, money. Oh, great shakes in motion. Boy, he put a nice move back there on Shea Showers. Bonner went the other direction and headed for Hunky Cooper, incomplete. Well, that's the end of the third quarter here at the barn. The Barnstormers, the Rattlers, tied at 40.
I'm George Morrison, reminding you to give all you can and score one for the kids.
Even naked.
No!
Not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers, because nothing handles your hunger better.
Don't look at me.
Hungry? Why wait?
So, what are we gonna do today, Matt?
Shave it off, all of it. Just.
Okay.
It's just this dandruff. It goes away, comes back, goes away, comes back.
Well, we can take care of that.
Head and Shoulders?
With regular shampoo, flakes can keep coming back. But Head & Shoulders helps prevent flakes before they start. You may never see flakes again.
And your hair looks great.
Glad I didn't do something stupid like shave my head.
Head & Shoulders changes dandruff problems into beautiful hair.
With AT&T One Rate, it costs $1.35 to make a 9-minute call from New York to LA. With 10321, it's $2.51. Surprised? Most calls from home cost less with One Rate. So give us a call today.
Tonight, the world is full of light, with suns and moons all over the place. Tonight,
Let's just be friends. Tonight, there's only you tonight.
I've won my share of races, but I didn't do it alone. It takes a great team. And Slick 50 is a part of my team. I'm one of the millions of people who rely on it.
Now there's Slick 50 Synchron synthetic engine treatment with a 100,000-mile limited warranty and pour-and-drive convenience.
It's hard to beat Slick 50. I count on that.
Slick 50 Synchron synthetic, the next generation of engine treatments.
And for peak performance, use Slick 50 Synchron synthetic fuel system treatment.
Back here in Iowa, we're tied at 40, the Rattlers and the Barnstormers. This is our version of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Derek from West Des Moines, Iowa, always wanted to deliver Mike Golick his own nachos, and he did. How did he do?
He did great because they're gone.
Derek, you enjoying the game? Yeah. Go Barnstormers. All right, here we go. Arena football, I love it.
I can't wait till the next place to go. What food they got there?
Thanks for the nachos, man. Bonner's not thinking about nachos. He's thinking about the go-ahead touchdown here as we begin the fourth quarter of play.
Joe Birch, number 75, back at center for Arizona, had the shoulder problem.
That's right. We need like a half a yard.
Back in the game.
Well, the Old Spice storyline here in Iowa, we're tied at 40. Calvin Schexnayder, all-league a year ago with 4 touchdown receptions. Lamar Cooper, or Hunky Cooper, I should say. All those return yards on kickoffs and the 1 touchdown. Quick give to Bobby McMillan on the 3rd and short yardage play. He's got the first down.
Inglis took the handoff.
Smart play by Arizona. They had the high motion. They tried to bring the motion man and stop him at the line of scrimmage to draw the defense offside and get the easy first down, but McMillan picks it up with no problem.
McMillan's numbers a year ago. Remember, this field is just half the distance of a conventional football field, and a 2.7-yard average per rush is not all that bad in the Arena League. Shakes the motion man. He gets tangled momentarily with Carlos James. Flag on the play, and we might have a pick there.
Yeah, Carlos James actually cut in front of Calvin Schexnayder, and Schexnayder just tried to bump him out of the way. And I think Calvin is going to get called for offensive pass interference.
Randy Gatewood was running underneath him. Right you are.
And that's what it is. It was a smart play by Iowa. The high motion man was Schexnayder, and then Carlos James slid over to where he was to cover him. And you see him laying on the ground. Schexnayder knocked him on the ground.
And a costly penalty for Arizona in that it's a loss of down penalty.
Smart play, because Carlos James was not even covering Calvin Schexnayder, but slid over at the last minute and got in his way.
So 2nd down and 15 for the Arena Bowl champion Arizona Rattlers. Bonner overthrows Schexnayder, and to get rid of it a little quickly there. Shakes was just making his cut when the ball arrived. As a result, he didn't get a chance to push off and leap for the football.
Iowa coming up, another big defensive play for them, tied 40 if they can get a stop here.
At 3rd and 15,
right.
let's listen in.
Move 56, X pulse, swing out. On two, ready?
Joins them in motion. Bonner going for the downs, and he's got it. Schexnayder wide open. The pass is complete, but a flag on the play.
Cedric Bonner signaling, let's move it down the field. It's going to be against Iowa, and he looks to be right.
Illegal formation defense, nose man with a shade, decline, play stands. That'll be a first down on the
against
play.
Iowa. The nose tackle was shaded. He has to line up directly over the center. I believe that would be Kent Wells, number 73. You have to line up directly over the center. He was shaded. All for naught anyway. Good job by Sed, got time. He just has a nice touch on the ball. On those deep passes, just lays it up and lets his receivers run to it.
And Shakes giving up the body, laying it out, hauling it in.
Endless repetitions of practice to be as good as these guys are today.
1st and goal from the 8. Bonner, Cooper, touchdown. Shea Showers, the Iowa defender, draped all over Hucky Cooper. But for the Huckster, another score.
Hucky, a compact player, 5'9", $190. If there's a fight for the ball, the 6-foot, 170-pound Shea Showers is going to lose on it. He digs in to try and grab it. Hunky keeps a hold of it and gets the touchdown. Nice throw by Cedric Bonner.
And as Mike Geary comes on to attempt the extra point, this game has all the makings of he who scores last wins. Geary's extra point attempt is good. The Rattlers lead by 7, but there's 11:55 remaining here at the barn. Who will prevail, the Rattlers or the Barnstormers? Stick around and find out.
I've won my share of races, but I didn't do it alone. It takes a great team. And Slick 50 is a part of my team. I'm one of the millions of people who rely on it.
Now there's Slick 50 Synchron synthetic engine treatment with a 100,000-mile limited warranty and pour and drive convenience.
It's hard to beat Slick 50. I count on that.
Slick 50 Synchron synthetic, the next generation of engine treatments.
And for peak performance, use Slick 50 Synchron synthetic fuel system treatment.
Happens everywhere Wednesday, May 20th.
Hot tires fueling out the door.
Feel the heat radiating out of your skin.
It's nasty hot.
We asked some of the hottest guys in the pits to switch antiperspirants.
Ultra dry degree, body heat activated.
Wow, I've never seen this before.
When your body heat rises, Degree Ultra Dry's powerful new form releases extra protection when you need it most.
This is one of the few products that can keep up with me.
It kept me dry, ultra dry.
Worked better than my old stick.
New Degree Ultra Dry. Now more than ever, your body heat turns it on.
The proof is in the pits.
9. Back and forth we go here at the barn in Des Moines, Iowa. The defending Arena Bowl champion Arizona Rattlers lead by 7, thanks largely to the heroics of Calvin Schexnayder, the wide receiver with no peer. That was touchdown reception number 1. That was touchdown reception number 2.
And he's not done.
Here comes Shakes in your face one more time. Bonner airs it out. Touchdown number 3. And finally, touchdown number 4. A year ago, he set a team record with 29. Already, he has 4 in this game. And the fourth quarter, well, we're just getting started.
Don't blink is a great saying for arena football this year, and it is holding true today.
Well, let's see what Iowa can do. Lamar Cooper is back deep, number 9. The speedster from Wayne State, Nebraska. Geary's kick is high in between the uprights. Off the net, Cooper's got it and takes it right up the middle. Easter increases his face mask. Bob McMillan, number 44, finally drags him down. Tough little kid, Lamar Cooper.
That scoring drive took a little bit of time there with the penalty against Arizona, the offensive pass interference. 7 plays to go 40 yards to take the lead again.
And for Hunky Cooper, who was the MVP or the Iron Man of last year's Arena Bowl game, his second touchdown. Comes up with the interception at the most critical time in the ball game. Hunky Cooper.
Boy, he looked like he was just laying low like a fox in the grass there, waiting to pounce. Charles Polari, first mistake of the day.
Boy, timing is everything in life and arena football, and Hunky Cooper, with Iowa threatening to tie the game up again, comes through with a critical interception.
Well, you saw he just started to break right before Polari threw it. I gotta believe he was looking at Polari's eyes and following him, and he just started to move at the last minute to pick it off.
And that little miscue on the part of Polari would tell the tale in this game when all is said and done. Bonner going for it all. Touchdown number 5 to Calvin Schexnayder.
Well, in talking to Danny White yesterday, he said turnovers can be the key to this game, and for the opening game of the season, turnover free. Very good football being played. And there was a first one, and it could be a very, very costly one. Wide open again, Calvin Schexnayder and Bonner right on the money. These two could do it in their sleep.
And number 2 for Iowa, Shea Showers, who had a terrific collegiate career at the University of Florida, but a rookie here in the Arena League, getting his baptism of fire against the very
Nice job,
best.
Michael.
Geary's extra point is good, and now Arizona leads by 14, 10-17 remaining. Somewhere along the line, the Iowa Barnstormers are going to need another stop. Will they get it? We'll find out.
The crowd shakes. The limits are pushed. Every Thursday, TBS storms cable with Wrestling Thunder. Disco Inferno does a number on Saturn. Raven delivers a poetic beating.
And the title match between DDP and Chris Benoit is an all-out brawl.
Thursday nights on the Superstation, cable's got the thunder. That's why more wrestling fans are watching. On Time Warner Cable.
Hi, I'm Craig Kilborn, host of your Daily Show, where every day we tackle the burning questions, like how do you define class? Yeah. Can celebrities really move stuff with their minds? And where do you place the salad fork when setting a small child? We're soft news with a hard edge, and so much more. The Daily Show.
Catch all the laughs Monday through Thursday nights with Comedy Central, this month's featured network. On Time Warner Cable.
Well, in the blink of an eye, the Arizona Rattlers increase a 7-point margin to 14, courtesy of Hunky Cooper's first interception in this game, which set up another touchdown pass. Cedric Bonner to Calvin Schexninger. Those two have hooked up not once but 5 times today, Mike Golick.
Well, going back to Hunky Cooper, he's got a kickoff return for a touchdown. He's got a reception for a touchdown and an interception. This is what arena football players are all about, Iron Men.
And a reminder, we'll be selecting the Tenacton Ironman player of the game. And right now, I'd have to say, Hernandez Hunky Cooper is head and shoulders above the rest of the field. Nice kick by Gary. Cooper's got it and makes a sweet move on Joe Birch. Joe almost broke his leg. He was fake so bad. But give that guy a lot of credit. That was 296 pounds trying to stop Quicksilver. Cooper's numbers for the day: 157 yards and a touchdown and kickoff returns, 4 receptions and 24 yards and a touchdown, and also an interception that set up a touchdown.
Nice day's work.
I am an Iron Man.
He'll be deserving of a few ice bags after this game.
Joe Birch having to go right back to work after kickoff coverage. He's the nose guard. Charles Polari throws the Billy Kilmer ball.
That could have been
Mike Horacek.
One of the uglier passes we've seen today, but it got there, and it's going to be offsides against Arizona. Flint Fleming, number 10, was offsides. They'll decline that. I got to believe, well, possibly not. It'll be 2nd and 1 or...
That pass, a refugee from a skeet shooting range. I was waiting for somebody to yell, pull.
Well, I tell you, that one did need to be taken out of the air. You aspiring quarterbacks at home, don't look at how this pass is actually thrown. Just look at the result.
Although I think I did hear a whack. 2nd and short yards. Doug Kane calling off the defensive signals for Arizona. And boy, initially I didn't think that John Moten had made it.
Well, there's John Moten, the man who saw late on the turf with a stinger, saw a stretcher coming for him, got up and walked off the field. Not only has he done that, he's back out playing again.
John Gregory's team with 9:09 remaining needs to score and then stop Arizona from scoring and score again. Takes it all the way down to the Arizona 5.
Well, what sets this up is John Moten, the fullback. He went out for a pass, taking the linebacker. You'll see Moten come out to the right of your screen. You'll see him go to the right, the running back. That takes the linebacker, Hunky Cooper, out of the middle of the field, and that's right where Tony Catchings goes. He did that 5 times last year and got himself a touchdown to boot.
Go! Cooper, the motion man. Polari looking, firing. This time Cecil Doggett going in the opposite direction. Horacek tries to drag him down from behind. We're going to have a clipping penalty on Cedric Walker, number 5, but that interception will stand.
What a great play by Cecil Doggett, stepping in front of the pass for a turnover-free game. The two that finally happened couldn't come at a worse time for the Barnstormers. It'll be clipping. It'll be the point of the clip, and then they'll move it back 8 yards. But they've got possession of the ball. Number 6, bottom left corner of your screen.
8-yard penalty.
Well, keep an eye on him. A lot of time to throw. He just bides his time, stays on Horacek, and makes that. The pass was actually behind Horacek. We saw Polari with a nice touchdown pass earlier to Mike Horacek, low and away to where it couldn't be intercepted. This one not as good, thrown behind him. Doggett with the break and the run.
And so what had been a spectacular day so far, debut for Charles Polari, now tarnished a bit with the 2 fourth-quarter picks against him.
Here's a little close-up shot. You see Doggett, they'll run into each other here. That's incidental. He just watches the quarterback. The throw behind Horacek there. That was the difference.
Cedric Bonner now is hoping to make the Barnstormers pay. Looking for his tight end, Fritz Levin.
Well, tit for tat. Iowa tried it. Arizona tried it. Larry Blue, fullback linebacker, 6'3", 250-pounder out of Iowa on the coverage.
Bonner was in the official's face. He wanted a face masking call against Larry Blue.
Face guarding, yeah. Larry Blue never turned around. He just stuck his arms up while looking at Flynn Fleming. And that's a judgment call by the referees. Nice play, though, by Larry Blue. They like him because at 250 pounds, he can go down and play on the line as well. Play some defensive end or play linebacker.
He also snaps for field goal attempts. Possibly find Schecksteiner again. He does. Gosh, this guy's unstoppable. That was in between 2 Barnstormer defenders, Carlos James and Shea Showers.
Carlos James had the coverage. Shea Showers came over to help, and Cedric just put it on a rope right to him. These guys work so well. When you work together for 3-4 years, you start to know each other's moves.
He actually broke off the pattern and came back.
That is the epitome of teamwork right there with the 2 of these, Calvin Schecksteiner and Cedric Bonner. Wow, what a day.
Sprint left, wing uncover on 101. Ready? Sprint left. Yes, rocket, rocket. Yes. Left trip. Go, go, go.
Well, first and goal for the Rattlers. If they can score this time, it pretty much puts away the game. Bonner will have to throw this one away. As we approach the 6-minute mark here in Des Moines, Iowa. 2nd and goal coming up.
Again, the clock is a running clock. I know you see it's an incomplete pass. You see the clock running. It is a running clock until 1 minute in the half and 1 minute in the game. And then incompletions and out-of-bounds plays will stop the clock. Right now, out-of-bounds or incomplete, that clock keeps running.
Awesome. Let's go left. X-back. 50. Y arrow. Wing arrow. Left X loop, 50 wing arrow on 101, ready? Left X loop. I got it. Yeah.
Play sounded good, but Cedric Bonner calls timeout.
Took too much time to call it, that's all. And only 5 seconds left on the play clock.
But things looking pretty good for Danny White and company. They lead by 14 here in the 4th quarter.
Go to the northwest coast room.
What's the matter, clown boy? You need to make a call, but you don't have the change. Cheer up, Spunky, there's a way. Just use 1-800-COLLECT. It's 10 cents a minute every evening. Saves a bundle of cash, you can talk longer, too. Go ahead, make some calls. That's great. Mimes. 1-800-COLLECT. 10 cents a minute every evening.
I'm George Morrison, reminding you to give all you can and score one for the kids.
Even naked.
Not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers, because nothing handles your hunger better.
Don't look at me.
Hungry? Why wait?
When sports cream? When legs are sore. When backs ache. When muscles hurt. Why sports cream? Rubbing it in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell. Why sports cream? Because it works.
Brown, right? The barn in Iowa, but the beloved Barnstormers at the tail end of a 14-point deficit. Over the last 3 seasons, the best teams in the league, well, Arizona and Iowa, 2 of the best, 30 wins, 10 losses. They joined Tampa Bay, and Tim Markham's team is back looking for a title this year in 1998. They were opening day winners against San Jose. Bonner. Gatewood. Touchdown. And that should do it.
Randy Gatewood did a nice job of actually getting away with a little push-off on Carlos James. He just runs right into the defender. It's a planned play to run into the defender and then spin on the outside. We'll see the end result with the touchdown here. Did a nice job of getting a little push-off. And Cedric Bonner, again, lowing away on those outside throws so they can't be intercepted.
7th touchdown pass for Cedric Bonner. He's got 5 to Shakes, 1 to Hunky Cooper, 1 to Gatewood. 8 touchdown passes.
When they start getting that many, we start to lose count.
5 to Shakes, Nate.
5 to Shakes, 2 to Gatewood,
2 to Gatewood.
And 1 to Cooper.
83 defense, half the distance. We'll try the extra point with no clock now.
Incidentally, most touchdown passes in a game would be 10, so Cedric's still a couple away from that.
Still 4:48 remaining in the game.
I guess I shouldn't speak too soon.
But a chance to put Michael Geary, to put the Rattlers up by 3 touchdowns, and he does. So two critical interceptions thrown by Charles Bellary, one picked off by Hunky Cooper, another picked off by Cecil Doggett, sets up a 3-touchdown deficit now. Well, it is all on the line tonight in the Eastern Conference quarterfinals, the Stanley Cup playoffs. Game 6, the Penguins and the Montreal Canadiens. Canadiens lead the series 3-2, and they can close out the Pens tonight at 7:30 Eastern time on the Deuce. Not a whole lot of Rattler fans here today in attendance. It would be a long drive, to say the least, but one of them made his way here, although this one looks more like Medusa than a...
Well, I tell you what, I don't know how he got in the building. He's got the skulls on his shoulder pads, the snake hair. And there's Iowa's answer to that. Little corncob head.
Today the snakes prevailed, I believe.
Wow, people walk out of the house like that.
I saw you wear one of those things. Don't kid me. Lamar Cooper trying to break one off. Can't do it. Stopped by Marvin Bagley, number 9. A rookie that they expect big things out of in Arizona. A Barry Wagner type, 6'4", 210, great hands out of North Carolina A&T.
Well, we saw this score 40-40 just a little while ago, and just like that, Arizona's up 3 touchdowns, courtesy a couple of interceptions. Only 2 mistakes Charles Bellary had today.
That pass, however, complete to Kevin Swain, number 4.
Again, the clock continues to run because it's not in a minute, so John Gregory's going to have to get those plays in quickly to Charles Bellary, and they're going to have to get some plays off fast if they're to make up 21 points.
Well, I think no matter what, John Gregory has found himself a quarterback for 1998. Nice timing on that pattern. Kevin Swain again on the receiving end. And there's the great John Mackey. Redefined the position of tight end. Not only great athleticism, but one of the brightest individuals you'll ever want to meet.
He gave a fantastic toss last night, and there's the commissioner of Arena Football, C. David Baker.
And whoever thought that John Mackey would be dwarfed? Our commissioner's 6'9", and, well...
Yeah, we'll see the John Mackey with the... What color was that jacket he had on there?
Whatever it was dapper. Him and his wife Sylvia in attendance last night. He had a great time. Some inspirational words for our 8 inductees.
Absolutely a great speech as we see the penalty, offensive pass interference on Iowa. And the Arena League and the NFL have been doing quite a bit of talking this past offseason. And at the May 20th NFL meeting...
Pass interference offense, number 3, downfield blocking. That's a loss of down. It'll be 3rd down.
Their NFL meetings in the 3rd week in May, they're going to be talking about possible cross-ownership of NFL owners buying arena franchises. Also, Ben Henderson down in Tom Benson in New Orleans has already applied for one. They're going to talk about that in May, so it'd be a nice relationship the NFL could have with arena football.
Go! Third and short for the Barnstormers. Ball deflected at the line of scrimmage. Tony Henderson may have gotten a hand on it. Well, next week, our coverage of the Arena Football League takes us to New Jersey, where the Red Dogs and their wide receiver, Larry Willis, will take on the Albany Firebirds. They have a star of their own in downtown Eddie Brown. Two of the league's most potent offenses hook up next Monday night here on the news, 7:30 Eastern Time. We'll kick it off.
Well, at 4th and 11, they're going to go for the 3 points here.
This one will be a 39-yard attempt. He already tied Mike Black's club record at 55. This one high but wide to the right. But Brian Hurley has been a find, and has Charles Polari. The Iowa Barnstormers won't win this thing, but they'll be a force in 1998.
Dr. Scholl's next stop, San Antonio Zoo.
I want to talk to you about pain.
My feet are shot.
My knees ache.
Lower back. Did you know back and knee pain can be caused by the way you walk?
No.
The way I walk?
If your feet aren't hitting the ground evenly, that can throw everything out of alignment all the way up to your lower back.
This is the Dr. Scholl's Dynastep insert.
Very futuristic.
Its U-shaped design cradles and supports your foot so it hits the ground evenly.
Feels real good on these big old feet.
Like your foot's cupped in the shoe.
I really think these would help my lower back pain.
Would you like a Dynastep insert? No, don't eat it. No.
With AT&T One Rate International, it's $7.08 for a 12-minute call from the U.S. to Mexico. With 10321, it's $10.56. Surprised? 9 out of 10 calls from home cost less with One Rate International. So give us a call today.
I'm George Morrison, reminding you to give all you can and score one for the kids.
Not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers, because nothing handles your hunger better.
Don't look at me.
Hungry? Why wait?
Back here in Des Moines, Iowa, and our distinguished panel of Mike Golick and Mike Adderley select our Tenacton Ironman player of the game, and it goes to Arizona's sensational number 14, Honky Cooper. He had a kickoff return for a touchdown, a TD reception, and also a key interception, which turned the tide in this football game.
He won this award 4 times last year, including Arena Bowl 11, by scoring 3 different ways. Set a playoff record last year against Tampa Bay with 9 kickoff returns for 192 yards. Definitely someone who may want to challenge Barry Wagner this year for the Ironman of the Year award that Barry Wagner has pretty much have his own room in his house for with 6 awards.
Well, Wagner had 3 touchdowns last night. He'll make a case for MVP again, but Calvin Schexnayder with 5 to his credit today. Touchdown. He's got 8 on the day. That one was intended for Herb Duncan. Kevin Swain on the coverage.
I don't know if that'll be received well on the Iowa bench, down 21 with only a minute to go, and the Rattlers throwing a bomb.
Let's go right next to go hot 9, hot 12.
Well,
let's go right X loop, hot 12 on 101. Ready? Right. Good split, Tony.
Certainly any doubts about Cedric Bonner's condition for 1998 have been totally erased by this performance here today in Iowa. 8 touchdown passes on the afternoon. It's time to get back. Kelly. Ball knocked out of his hands by Leonard Conley.
Saying he had possession and then a fumble out of bounds, so they will get the gain. We'll get to the 1-minute warning. And, you know, conventional wisdom would say you have a quarterback coming back from an injury. What you'd want to do is get pressure on him, make him think about that injury. But this offensive line for Arizona Rattlers is doing such a fine job as he did last year, giving up only 1 sack, that Iowa can't really get close to Cedric Bonner, who was on the ground just 1 time today.
A reminder, following our game, the senior PGA is on the air, the final round of Bruno's Memorial Classic, sponsored by Cadillac. Terry Dill was the leader going into the day at 9 under par.
Laser.
Senior PGA Tour following us here on the Deuce. Under a minute to play here in Des Moines, Iowa. Bonner has to throw that one away.
Just as I say that, Cedric Bonner finally gets a little bit of pressure. Cedric Bonner was the second-team All-Arena last year. This man was first-team All-Arena last year, and this year he is signed by the St. Louis Rams and allocated to Amsterdam in NFL Europe, and is having himself a whale of a season so far.
He's already been selected Player of the Week one time. He leads the league in passing percentage and efficiency. Charles Polari, not a bad showing in Kurt's absence. But again, those two critical interceptions. A 55-yard field goal attempt by Michael Geary is on its way. Ball is live off the net, so Lamar Cooper will attempt to return it for a touchdown. This is probably the one area of concern that Danny White will have afterwards. Anthony Brenner really decided to retire. He thought his kicking woes were all solved with Brenner, but Brenner retired to the private sector to make a living for himself beyond arena football. So he had to search for a new kicker, got Michael Geary.
Last year, Michael Geary was with New York. He was 15 out of 47 on field goal attempts last year. A little over a 30% average, not very good. And you're right, even in this win, the head coaches, as you well know, always look for things to improve upon, and kicking game will be one of them for Arizona.
Up top to Cooper, he can't hang on, and maybe part of the credit has to go to Cedric Walker, because I'm sure Lamar heard his footsteps.
Yeah, and this is a position you don't want to be in when you're playing the Rattlers, when they can just lay back. And they're not even going to go for the ball now. They're going to try and light it up with some big hits. Cedric Walker delivering that one right there. This was their moniker in last year's Arena Bowl, Mike. They intimidated the receivers from Iowa with their hits just like that. There was a lot of those kind of hits in the Arena Bowl last year, which led to Iowa's defeat.
Polari on second down. This time Cooper has it. First down, Iowa. But a case of too little, too late for the Barnstormers.
Now, head coach John Gregory will be disappointed in the loss, but he's going to take out a lot of good here. You look at those numbers, 25 of 37, 5 touchdowns, the 2 interceptions, obviously the big ones when the score was tied 40-40. Got to be happy with, these were the 2 question marks, quarterback and then kicker, and I think he's got to be fairly pleased with the results of both today, even though the bottom line in any sport you play is wins and losses. They didn't get the win today, but at least they have confidence now, I think, in their quarterback and in their kicker.
Well, Hunky Cooper, Arizona read Polari's eyes for that first pick, read it perfectly. And then the second one was just a matter of inches. He underthrew the ball, threw it a little bit behind his intended receiver, Mike Horacek, and the result was another interception. Arizona capitalized, and that was the story. Gregory and Danny White, 2 of the very best in this league. We talked about Tim Markham, who was inducted into the Arena Football League Hall of Fame last night, and his quest to win it again for Tampa Bay. Gregory and White, the only coaches these 2 franchises have ever had, and 2 of the very best.
We've also got defensive holding on Arizona here. You see Conley saying, okay, you want to hit us? Well, you know what? I'm going to hit you. And he knocks Cedric Walker's helmet off. You know, this game is over, but there's still a lot of pride on the line between these players. It was defensive holding. That'll be an automatic first down. The game within a game. I'm sure Cedric Walker, now that he had a big hit, got his helmet knocked off, now will be looking to lay it on someone again this play.
Well, they don't play again in the regular season, but they could well hook up in the playoffs. These players are like elephants. They have long memories. Third interception. That one he should have thrown. He threw that one into double coverage. Intended for Cooper, but Doggett and Cedric Walker right there, but really didn't matter all that much, being down by 3 touchdowns with just 19 seconds remaining in the game.
Really a shame, because this kid was having a nice game. 3 fourth-quarter interceptions. The bottom just kind of fell out, throwing it into double coverage. That's a bad mistake. Bad mistake there. One he'll learn from, though. I mean, all the 3 mistakes he made today on the interceptions, all mistakes he can learn from, and I'm sure head coach John Gregory will work with him in films on it.
Reminder next on ESPN, Senior PGA Tour coverage, the final round of the Brunos Classic, sponsored by Cadillac. Danny White would like to go back to Arizona and get in a few rounds of golf, I'm sure, on his days off. Nice win for the defending Arena Bowl champions. Bo Kelly with that last carry, and that should wrap things up here in Des Moines, Iowa.
First time the Rattlers came to visit the barn in the regular season and take away a victory.
So the defending champion Arizona Rattlers start their season in a big way with a 61-40 victory over the Iowa Barnstormers. Cedric Bonner, 8 touchdown passes on the day. Calvin Schecksteiner had 5 touchdown receptions. Randy Gatewood 2. A reminder coming up next here on ESPN2, the Senior PGA Tour, the Brunos Classic. This has been a presentation of ESPN Sports, the worldwide leader in sports.